In an earlier video, we talked about how the format of the Chinese name is remarkably similar to that of the English name. In both English and Chinese names, you have a surname, 姓氏, inherited from your father, and you have a given name, 名字, which is given to you at birth. In both English and Chinese, there are only two elements in the modern name. The same goes for Japanese names and Korean names. The only difference between these English names and these East Asian names is that in English, you put the given name first, followed by the surname, whereas in Chinese and other East Asian languages, you put the surname first, followed by the given name. But the same two elements are there, the surname and the given name. The only difference is that the order is reversed. Now, this similarity applies only in the modern era. If you were to go back to pre-classical times, this paradigm starts to fall apart. Which is to say, names in ancient China work nothing like names in modern China. Most modern Chinese people are not aware of this. They simply assume that the same paradigm of surname, 姓氏, plus given name, 名字, applies to ancient people, which would lead them to conclude that Confucius, for example, known as 孔子in Chinese, bears the surname Kong. Sun Tzu, who wrote The Art of War, bears the surname Sun. Neither of these is true. What were the real surnames of Kongzi and Sun Tzu? To answer this question, we have to look at the structure of the personal name in pre-classical China. Before we get into that though, make sure to like this video and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and hit that notification button so you'll be the first to know when I release my next video. Now back to our topic. So you're all aware that the modern Chinese name has two main elements, the surname, 姓氏, and the given name, 名字. Well, in pre-classical China, the personal name had four elements, and that is because when it comes to 姓氏, a 姓 is not the same thing as a 氏, and when it comes to personal names, a 名 is not the same thing as a 字. So instead of having two elements, 姓氏 and 名字, we're looking at four different elements. Number one, a 姓, known as a lineage name. Number two, a 氏, known as a clan name. Number three, a 名, known as a birth name. And finally, a 字, known as a style name. Let's look at these. The lineage name, the clan name, the birth name, and the style name. How are they different? Let's begin with the 姓氏. The thing to remember is prior to the Qin, which was around the 3rd century BC, 姓 and 氏 were two very distinct concepts. 姓 was not the same as 氏. After the Han Dynasty, which was around the 1st century BC, the two concepts started to merge. 姓 and 氏 were used interchangeably, eventually evolving into the modern concept of the surname. So prior to the Qin Dynasty, how was a 姓different from a 氏? Well, in pre-classical China, a 姓is known as a lineage name, which was a marker of blood lineage. So it basically told people, what is your bloodline? Who gave birth to you, so to speak? Whereas a 氏, known as a clan name, is a marker of social identity, which basically tells people which local clan or gang you belong to. Let's dive a little deeper into that. What exactly is a lineage name, 姓? Well, if you look at the character composition, you'll see that the character for 姓, lineage name, has a female radical on the left, and on the right, you get the character 生 to give birth. So you can deduce from this character makeup that this basically tells people who gave birth to you, who was your mother. In the Xia Dynasty and early Zhou Dynasty, China was a matrilineal society, so people got their xing, their lineage name, from their mothers. The 8 major lineage names, 八大姓 at the time, all have the female radical. Now, of what use is a lineage name? Simply put, it determines who you can marry. Why is that? Because you cannot marry your own family members. You cannot marry people who are related to you by blood. And the xing tells you who it is who are related to you by blood. In other words, the lineage name is important for marriage. And because of that, lineage names are particularly important for women who, in pre-classical China, saw marriage as the most important thing in their life. Xing, the lineage name, is used to determine marriage eligibility. And what about the clan name Shi? Well, clan names tell people which social group you belong to. Clan names are often based on, for example, a prominent family or a prominent ancestor. So an American equivalent would be to talk about the Kennedys or the Rockefellers. These would be things that are used as clan names. Clan names can also be based on prominent family properties, the way we talk about the Newport Vanderbilts or the Hyde Park Roosevelts. It can also be based on a prominent profession. So for example, Sima, stable master, which later came to mean minister of war, or Situ, census master, which is for the people who keep track of the population, or Shanghuan, basically high official. These are all common clan names. So basically, clan names broadcast your social status, and because of that, they tend to be used by men. So as you can see, there are male-female differences when it comes to the choice between the lineage name Xing and the clan name Shi. When choosing between the two, women in pre-classical China tend to use their lineage name Xing and not so much their clan name Shi. They might not even belong to a powerful clan. Whereas men, on the other hand, tend to use their clan names and not their lineage names. Why not? Because there's no need to learn about their bloodline unless you plan to marry the guy. Also, when ordering these names, women tend to give their given name first and lineage name second, much like in English. So if you look at the goddess Nuwa, okay, her given name is Nui, woman, and her lineage name is Wa, as you can see, which has a female radical. Or if you look at the concubine Mei Xi, her given name is Mei, basically little sister, and her lineage name is Xi, which again has that female radical. Or another famous woman is Meng Jiang, the woman who went to the Great Wall looking for her husband. Okay, her given name is Meng, which indicates that she was the firstborn in her family. And her lineage name is Jiang, again with the female radical. Now, if you look at the names of men in pre-classical China, the order is reversed. They tend to give their clan names first, and then their given name. So, for example, the literary scholar Han Yin, Han is their family's ancestral land, and his name is Yin, baby, basically. Or another pre-classical character, Yan Ruo. Okay, Yan is his clan name, that is where his ancestral land is, and his given name is Ruo. He was probably born weak. Or another character, the hydraulic engineer, Ximen Bao. Okay, his clan name is Ximen, west of the gate. That's where his land is. And then his given name is Bao, leopard. Okay, so for men, clan name first, and then given name. The way clan names work is very similar to how names worked with the European royal families. Think of people like Prince William or Prince Andrew. What is their last name? Strictly speaking, they don't have one. Or if they do have one in the legal sense, they don't use it. Why? Because they are generally referred to using the name of their royal house, that is, their royal clan, or the territories that they rule over. So we tend to say William, Prince of Wales, or Andrew, Duke of York, referring to them by their feudal seats. Historically, that was always the case for European royal families, so instead of using surnames or lineage names, we would refer to royalty by their clan names. William of Normandy, for William, the Duke of Normandy, or Louis XIV de Bourbon, for Louis XIV of the House of Bourbon. So that was how things were prior to the 3rd century BC during the Qing dynasty. Things started to change, however, after the Han dynasty in the 1st century BC. People started to confuse clan names with lineage names, leading to the development of the modern surname. People in the Han dynasty started to use the clan name as a lineage name and started passing it down from father to son. By the Han dynasty, the practice of mixing up the clan name and the lineage name was so prevalent that even the grand historian Sima Qian confused the lineage names and clan names of earlier figures when he was writing the Shiji, the Grand Scribe's records. Let's move on now to the given name, 名字. Modern parents, both Chinese and American, give a lot of thought to what to name their newborns, and that's why there are so many books and websites devoted to baby names for boys and girls. Parents come up with names months before the baby is even born. Parents in pre-classical China, however, not so much. You'd be surprised at the number of parents who simply name their newborn baby, Ying. The literary scholar Han Ying was named baby. So was the diplomat Yan Ying. So baby apparently was a popular name back then. Or if the newborn is a girl, often they're just named girl, 女. So the goddess Nuhua, creator of the world, was simply named Nu, as was Nu Xiu, who was the ancestor of the Qin tribe. Or they might just name her Mei, little sister, as in the concubine Mei Xi. Sometimes parents also use physical features. So for example, Duke Huan of Qi, before he became Duke Huan of Qi, was simply named Xiaobai, the tiny fair-skinned one. Duke Wen of Jin was named Chong'er, double ear, possibly because he was born with an extra set of ears. Sometimes they use the order of birth. If you were the firstborn, you were called Meng or Bo. If you were the secondborn, you were called Zhong. If you were the thirdborn, they used the word Shu. And if you were the fourthborn, they would use the word Ji. Bo Zhong Shu Ji or Meng Zhong Shu Ji were often used as names. So names such as baby or girl or sis, these are names that modern people would consider nicknames rather than proper names. But back in pre-classical China, that was all people got. Their nickname was their name. Now that can be a problem if you grow up to be somebody important, somebody prominent. You don't want to be called baby or double ear by everybody you come into contact with. Which is why there was a practice that once you reach maturity, once you reached age 20, you get to choose another more formal sounding name, one that's not as childish as the one that your parents gave you. Now this name that you choose later in life, it is called the 字, a style name or a courtesy name. So you have a baby name when you're first born, and then if you're important enough, once you reach age 20, you get to choose your own name, your style name or courtesy name, known as the 字. Now, what do people choose for their 字? Surprisingly, they're not too creative about it. A lot of people simply choose their birth order. If they're the firstborn, they use Meng or Bo. If they're the secondborn, they use Zhong. If they're the thirdborn, they use Shu. And the fourthborn uses Ji. So that's one common way to get a style name. Another thing people do is they find a name that is semantically very similar to the one they were given as a child. I'll give you two examples. So the son of Confucius, Kong Li, his birth name was Li, which meant carp or goldfish. After he came of age, what did he choose for his style name? His style name was Bo Yu. Okay, Bo, indicating that he was a firstborn, and then the second character of the name is Yu, fish. So fish, the secondborn, basically as a replacement for goldfish. Or let's look at Confucius himself. Confucius himself was given the name Qiu, which meant a mound or a hill, presumably because that was where he was conceived. And when he got the chance to choose a style name for himself, what did he choose? He chose Zhong Ni. Zhong because he was the secondborn, and Ni, mud, because the mound was made of mud. So to recap, in pre-classical China, everybody had a birth name Ming, which was given to you by your parents. Only prominent men later go on to choose a style name after they reach maturity. So they have two names, so to speak, their birth name Ming and their style name Zi. Now women tend not to have a Zi, they don't have a style name. Non-prominent men don't have a style name either. Which brings us to the question, how do you address women? Well, we mentioned that in pre-classical China, women were addressed by their given name plus their lineage name. So for example, Nuhua, Nü is the given name, and Hua is the lineage name. Or Mei Xi. Mei is the given name, Xi is the lineage name. You get the idea. But what about after the Han Dynasty? After the Han Dynasty, unless you're a close family member, you shouldn't be addressing a woman by her given name at all. Instead, you use the woman's maiden name, that is the merged Xing and Shi, the surname of the woman's father. Let's take the example of the Han Dynasty consort known as Zhao Feiyan. Zhao is her surname, Feiyan is her given name. If you were not somebody who was very intimate with her, like a family member, you would simply refer to this woman as Zhao Shi. So you would use the surname Zhao, followed by the title Shi, Zhao Shi. You would refer to a woman by her maiden name plus the title Shi. Now the title Shi is no longer used in modern China, but it has survived in neighboring countries. In Vietnam, for example, an ethnic Chinese woman whose surname is X and given name is Y would be referred to as X Shi Y. So for example, the 3rd century female warrior, Zhao Shizhen, her name is made up of 3 components. Zhao is her surname, her given name is Zhen, and then between the surname and the given name, you have that title Shi from the Han Dynasty. Or take a modern woman, the North Vietnamese revolutionary Ran Shiping. Her surname is Ran, her given name is Ping, and between the two, you insert that Shi, which again comes from the pre-classical clan name. In Korea, the title Shi is often used to indicate formality and can be used for both men and women and after either the surname or the given name. So for example, in very formal situations, you might refer to somebody with the surname Choi as Choi Shi, or somebody with the surname Kim as Kim Shi. Or if their given name is Mei Xiang, you might refer to them as Mi Hyang Shi. Or if his given name is Dong He, you might refer to them as Dong He Shi if you want to sound more formal. So that title Shi, coming from the pre-classical clan name, is still alive and well in a lot of languages in East Asia. Well, I hope you enjoyed that. Remember to like this video if you did, and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. I'll see you next time.